All right, this is just a quick tip and some insight just on vehicles in general. These are some things that you can do to help your vehicle. Um, get you a can of silicone spray and keep it somewhere where you can use this spray. And you might say silicone spray, what can I use that for? You can use silicone spray for all sorts of things. It's pretty water resistant. You put it wherever you need it, and normally it stays pretty good. What do I use it for? Well, for example, roll your windows down, and that channel that those windows travel in, just hit that, the channel where it goes up and down, hit that with a little silicone spray, and it will help those windows travel up and down with a lot more ease. It'll help those windows stay rolling free. Get you a can of Armor All tire foam. It cleans as it protects. If you have dust, if you have anything like that, it's gonna help those tires to look really good. You spray and you walk away. This stuff tends to evaporate pretty quick, but it's gonna soak into those tires. You just spray it on, you walk away. I also use it under the hood. I spray it on my hoses, any of my plastic surfaces. Spray it on there, walk away. Don't worry about it. Any of your hoses, your vacuum lines, anything like that, it's going to shine them up a little bit, and it's going to soak into that rubber, and it's going to help them to stay pliable and to stay soft, and it's just going to help them to last longer. I use it under the hood when I was, doing professional auto detailing. I used it all the time, and people, credited me for that quite a bit. Man, you got my engine looking good, man. How did you do it? What did you use? I'm like, man, get you a can of Armor All tire foam. Spray it on your all your plastic surfaces, your engine cover, things like that. It'll make it look good. All your vacuum hoses, your upper and your lower radiator hose. Gonna shine them up. Gonna keep them nice and soft. Because you get dust, you get dirt under the hood. It can cause those hoses to get brittle and crack or break, and that stuff will just help them to keep them soft. You can use it on your tires, any plastic surface, anything that's rubber. All right, let's move on. Make sure that you have a decent jack. Okay, a lot of these vehicles, a lot of them nowadays don't even come with a jack. They come with a can of, you know, some kind of tire fill up. You might get some of that stuff is so bad, guys. The what's that green stuff? Slime. It is so bad to use that because yes, if you need to fill up a tire, if you get a leak, it's probably gonna do the trick. But here's the problem: it will eat through your wheels. If you leave it inside, it's a temporary fix. You leave slime inside of a tire, it will eat through your wheels. It will destroy the metal. Doesn't matter what kind of wheel you have, alloy, steel, it don't matter. That stuff is so bad. If you ever use it, get it out as fast as possible. Have that tire broken down and tell whoever it is at that tire center, tire shop, please clean that stuff out before you mount my tire back, because it is so bad on a set of wheels, or a wheel, whatever it might be. Make sure you have a decent jack in your vehicle, in your trunk, in your truck. A decent jack that will do the trick. Get your truck up off the ground so that you can get to your spare tire. Make sure that your spare tire, that you've rolled it down if you have a truck, that it's easily accessible. That bolt that you use to roll down your spare tire, make sure that that's properly lubricated. Get you a can of white lithium grease. You can use that anywhere. Grease, here's the deal: oil runs. Oil is great, but oil runs. Grease stays where you put it. Get you a can of white lithium grease. Same thing with guns. Guys ask me all the time, how do you lubricate your guns? I use a combination. I use a combination of oil and grease, synthetic grease for all of my firearms. It stays where you put it. With a firearm, oil, it's great, but it pushes out. All right, when you're firing a firearm, that oil pushes out. Okay, grease stays where you put it. Now, I don't use a lot of grease, just synthetic grease on my slide rails. It stays where you put it. Okay, my springs, I normally do use synthetic oil, but on my slides, I use just a little bit of Milcom synthetic gun grease. Okay, made for the military. Okay. Another thing that you want to do, make sure that your tires are properly inflated. Normally out on the highway, the surfaces in the summertime, pretty hot. Your tires tend to increase in tire pressure a little bit. Now in the winter, just your vehicle sitting, that tire pressure will normally decrease. Cold will cause them to decrease, heat will cause them to increase. We see it on the racetrack all the time with NASCAR. You know, they'll put so much air, the guys will go out there and they're always talking about building tire pressure, okay? Out there on the track, that surface is hot, they will increase in tire pressure, okay, as they go around that hot surface. We hear about it all the time. So same thing with your normal everyday driver, okay? You're going to see the same thing. Make sure that you're using a good motor oil, okay? If your vehicle calls for synthetic, yeah, sure, you can use conventional. But here's the thing, your vehicle was designed for a specific type of oil. The vehicles nowadays, the oil passages in these engines are pretty small. That oil has to have the ability to travel through these tight spots in these engines. So try your best to use the oil designed for your vehicle. My recommendation, I love I love using Pennzoil Ultra Platinum. You can't even hardly find it in stores, but this stuff is so good. It's such a good oil. I have done so much research on oils and Ultra Platinum. Now you can go and you can get the Platinum at almost any auto parts store. You can get it from Walmart, but I get the Ultra Platinum, which you can get a pretty good deal on it on Amazon. It is a good oil. When you pull that dipstick 2 or 3 months later, however long it is, that oil looks golden, clean, and the best oil is clean oil, in my opinion. I don't push the limit. That stuff, they say it can last 10,000 miles. I will never go 10,000 miles on an oil change. That's just not me. I grew up every 3,000 miles you change that oil. I might push it to 5,000 at the most, but I'm changing my oil on a frequent basis regardless of what type of oil it is, because again, the best oil is clean oil. So yeah, get your silicone spray, lube up those channels for those windows, keep them moving free, keep you some good glass cleaner on hand. That's a good idea. Get you some 3M rubbing compound. Now this is good for minor scratches. It's just a paste, like a peach colored paste. This stuff works some wonders, guys. It does not have a lot of grit in it. I used this in working with a body shop guy that I knew that did some tremendous work. This is, in my opinion, if your headlights, tail lights start to fade a little bit, especially your headlights. You get that yellow oxidation on your headlights, that yellowing, from the weather. Just put a little bit of that on a rag and start rubbing. And this stuff will take out that yellowing. Okay, turtle wax makes some rubbing compound. I do not like it. It has a really gritty kind of feel to it. I don't like it. Get the 3M rubbing compound. This stuff works wonders. You can also, use a buffer if you want to use a buffer. You can get you a pad that goes on a drill and just rub that stuff in. If you wanted to do that, you could. It's not going to hurt your paint. You can use it on your paint. You can take out scratches with it, just all sorts of things, and then go back with some good Meguiar's Carnauba wax after that. Meguiar's makes some great products for your paint. Keep you some touch-up paint as well. You can get your paint code off of the inner door panel on the driver's side, and your paint code will be there for your vehicle, and order you some touch-up paint. A lot of times you can go to O'Reilly's and they can actually mix you some there. Just give them your paint code and they can actually mix touch-up paint. You can get it in a spray can. You can get it in just a little pen style where you can push down and fill small little chips and things of that sort. But it's a good thing to have on standby. So many little things you can do to keep your car up. Again, your tires, keep them properly inflated. Check your tire depth on your tires and try to keep your tires up the best that you can. Let's see, keep a good jack, like I said before. Get you some touch-up paint. Get you some Armor All tire foam. Keep things looking nice. Always, you want to watch how much you keep in your trunk, in the bed of your truck. Kind of keep your weight down to a minimum. That's going to help things out. The more weight you carry, obviously, going to kill your fuel mileage. Can really affect that rear end of the vehicle as well. Your fuel mileage, just all of that. So that's just some quick tips, guys. Might help you out. Take it easy.